How's it going, all my tacticians? This is Imperator Davius, your Fedora wearing Rushing Ram. How's it going? Now, for those of you who are wondering why am I showing you Piccolo, well, actually I'm not just showing you Piccolo. I'm actually showing you Tucker. I'm also showing you Venus. I'm also showing you Alu. I'm also showing you Kodiak and Coralina and Juliet and Jasmine and Achilles. Now, you're probably wondering why am I showing you all of my Pokemon? And in particular, why am I showing you their moves? Well, that's because I have this little philosophy that whenever I'm battling, I always train my Pokemon, I always prepare my teams for this little motto that I always have, and that is prepare yourself for everything, but don't prepare for anything. That's also why I don't have Protect on a lot of my Pokemon now. Don't take those three into particular. The Mudbray or trio, as I call them. The reason why I don't prepare my Pokemon for, like, say, for example, why I don't have them, learn these, Protect moves or Detect moves. I have to train George the first, by the way. And the reason why is because I train my teams and prepare them for pretty much as many situations as possible so that no matter what my opponent throws my way, I at least have some way to deal with it. It doesn't matter if it's going to be a Trick Room team, unless the team has, like, no really slow Pokemon or no way to actually fight in a Trick Room. My Pokemon will at least be able to fight in a Trick Room. It doesn't matter if they're, really fast sweepers or really bulky defensive Pokemon. My Pokemon will be prepared for as many kind of scenarios as they can. And that is why I pretty much don't run Protect, why I don't run Detect, except for a few. You'll see that there are a few Pokemon on my team that actually do run the move Protect, Detectors, etc. And that is how I just run my team. I try to give them as much diversity as I can to cover as many bases as I can, while at the same time giving me as many competitive options and competitive viability as possible for my teams without sacrificing, pretty much as without sacrificing as little as possible. I don't want to get me caught off guard if I run into a Pokemon or run into a team that I just can't handle. I try my best to prepare myself as best as I can. So that is pretty much why I'm showing you a lot of my Pokemon, why I'm showing a lot of my teams, and why I don't run Protect. I mean, I do have Protect and Detect on a few of my Pokemon, so it's not like I don't run it. I just, prefer to give my Pokemon and give my teams as much diversity as I possibly can, especially even in VGC. Even though I know someone is gonna say in the comment section, Impy, why don't you run Protect? Most Pokemon, almost everyone runs Protect in VGC. Well, that is true. But then again, I'm not your typical, VGC trainer. I like to do my own thing. You got a problem with it? Well, take it up with my attorney because, well, I'm just gonna don't care. I just don't care. I'm just gonna be the me. I'm just gonna be me. So in any case, that is just me showing you my teams. I will now move on to my philosophy in a moment. So 1, 2, 3, boop. All right, now you're probably wondering why am I showing you a picture of a Pheromosa? Well, that's because Pheromosa embodies my entire team strategy, team building philosophy of prepare yourself for anything, but don't prepare for everything. Now, I know I might have said it differently in, like, the first segment in which I was showing off all my Pokemon, but it is in fact that. You prepare your team for anything, but you don't prepare it for everything. And the reason why is because you can prepare your Pokemon for pretty much any kind of scenario, but at the same time, if you try to prepare yourself for any possible scenario, you're gonna get into this strange, thought process of, okay, what if my opponent runs this? What if my opponent runs that? And that's why you just can't prepare yourself for everything. I mean, there are Pokemon out there that they look like they would be straightforward, like this Pheromosa, for example. But Pheromosa is actually, it has some diversity to it. Now, what am I talking about? Well, if we scroll down to the movesets, you'll see that Pheromosa has quite a few movesets. First of all, you got your Quick Guard, you got your Quiver Dance, you got Rapid Spin, which are very common. You have the Feint, you have Bounce, you got Jump Kick. My favorite is the YOLO High Jump Kick. You got Lunge, Bug Buzz, you got Me First, and one of my favorite ones to catch people off guard with is the Speed Swap. You also have access to some really, really powerful TM moves. For example, you got Ice Beam, you got Blizzard, you got Hyper Beam. You can go for Roost if you want to. You got Brick Break. You can go for a low sweep. You can go for you can go for a Torment user. You can go for Poison Jab, U-Turn. There are a lot of moves that Pheromosa learns, and you have even more moves when it comes to the move tutors. So first of all, you got the Icy Wind. You have Electro Web. You got Drill Run. You got Bounce, you got Bug Bite, you get access to the Low Kick. I think you get access to Low Kick naturally. You also have access to Outrage. You also have access to Shockwave. You have Signal Beam. You can even make use of Snatch and Throat Chop, for example. Pheromosa is just a very, very powerful Pokemon, and it has access to a lot of diverse moves. While its stats may say one thing, which are amazing stats. Sweepers would love to have these kind of stats. It also has access to some things. It has access to tech that makes it very, very difficult to actually prepare for. And I'll show you in a second. So, boop. And here we go. We're once again on the Pheromosa, and once again explaining my philosophy of when it comes to at least preparing your team. Prepare yourself for anything, but don't prepare for everything. Now, the reason why I say prepare yourself for anything but don't prepare for everything is because, well, there are Pokemon that you just can't prepare for. At least in terms of what it could run, what it could do, what it can do, and what it will do. You just can't predict it. I mean, even at the highest levels of, like, competitive Pokemon, especially at the VGC level, there are trainers who will, try to slip around unless people really like to follow the top the big six as they like to call them. Unless there is a standard formula which everyone has to run unless they want to lose again and again, they will try to put their own twist onto a Pokemon, prepare their stats in a certain way, maybe give them a different item, maybe not the Mega Evolve or something along those lines. But that is what I'm talking about. Now, let's get back to Pheromosa, because this is what I'm talking about. So, first of all, what you're seeing on screen right now is the Pheromosa that I run. That is, I believe her name is Lenoa. Full Adamant Nature, max speed and max physical attacking EVs. Same with the IVs. Goes for the high jump, kick, lunge, poison jab, throat chop moves, and focus sash. I don't know why I said focus blast. But in any case, that is just one standard Pheromosa. It's a pretty standard Pheromosa. Everyone can expect this when it comes to, Pheromosa. High speed, high physical attacking power. Everyone enough said about that. Then we move on to Pheromosa number 2. And Pheromosa number 2 will catch some people a little bit off guard. But again, it's not exactly something uncommon. You got the Fightinium Z move. So that if you come up against someone who, is weak to fighting type moves, but you don't want to risk the focus miss, you go for the Fightinium Z move, power them down, one hit KO, unless they're protected by Sturdy or Focus Sash. Then you come back, then you get the free Beast Boost off. And your special attacks are going up, and then you move on to your other moves. You got your Bug Buzz, you got your Ice Beam. I mean, most people would run something else like say Hidden Power, Hidden Power Ground or so. Wish I had Hidden Power Ground on my Pheromosas, but I don't got that. So what we have in this case is my Shockwave. I use Shockwave because it helps me deal with those pesky Pokemon that, try to avoid me. For example, Muck. I'm looking at you, Muck, and I don't have my Fightinium Z move to, use against them, or they're resistant or immune to it. So that's why I have the Shockwave. It does a fair amount of damage. It's not the greatest, but it's something, and it will never miss. So there's that benefit too. Then we move on to Pheromosa number 3. This is pretty much the standard Pheromosa that everyone, and I mean this, everyone on VGC tries to run, and it's the Naughty Natured Pheromosa with Life Orb, Low Sweep, or I think it was Low Kick or something along those lines, Ice Beam, Lunge, and Protect. And that is what they like to run. It gives Pheromosa a fair amount of damage, some good versatility. It has the Protect to protect itself. It has the Ice Beam to deal with those dragon types like Salamence and Landorus. I'm looking at you, Landorus. This Pheromosa was also designed to take you down, so what if I'm losing my physical attack? I still have enough firepower to make use of this Beast Boost and the Ice Beam, so take that. And that's just yet another Pheromosa. Then you got my favorite Pheromosa that I love to trip people up with, and that is the Speed Swap Pheromosa. You got your Speed Swap, you got, in this case, my Pheromosa that I use for VGC, or not VGC, but for my speed swapping shenanigans, is a serious nature, so don't expect my Pheromosa to actually do a whole lot of damage. But it does help me, especially in Trick Room teams, because most people don't expect Pheromosa to accept that she's not going to be dealing a lot of damage. Instead, they expect her to go for the attack. They expect her to try to take them down. What they don't expect is a Pheromosa to just give up her massive speed boost and give it to another Pokemon, especially the opponent's Pokemon, or in this case, my opponent's Pokemon. And I set up a Trick Room because that really, really messes them up. It trips them up. What? He's giving me the fast speed of a Pheromosa, which is like one of the top 5 fastest Pokemon in the entire game, not counting the Megas, and he's just giving it to me? Why would he do that? Oh, because he's going for Trick Room, and now I'm suddenly the slowest because of that, and his Pheromosa is faster. And so there you go. I mean, I'm sure there are other Pheromosas out there, other Pheromosa movesets, but these were just 4 of the Pheromosa movesets that I just came up with just to demonstrate how you can prepare for anything. You can prepare yourself, bring some intimidators to deal with a physical attacking Pheromosa, but then you come up against a special attacking Pheromosa. You can try to prepare for a special attacking Pheromosa, but then you're challenged by a mixed Pheromosa. Okay, so we're trying to prepare for both. Let's try to deal with this mixed Pheromosa. I'll bring in intimidators and Pokemon that have high special attacks, so that he can't really affect me with his Pheromosa. But then he brings in a Pheromosa that's meant to work in a Trick Room. How do you prepare for this? You don't. You can try your best to prepare for them, but you can't prepare for all of them. And that is what I'm saying when it comes to my philosophy of prepare yourself for anything, but don't prepare for everything. So, if you're gonna try and take down a Pheromosa, go ahead, take down that Pheromosa. But just remember, all Pokemon can run different types of movesets, and while you may prepare yourself for one type of Pokemon, like in this case Pheromosa, you'll suddenly find yourself in a bind because now you're trying to take on all these different types of Pheromosas, and you don't know which one are you going to be facing. Until that first move is made, you don't know what kind of Pheromosa you're going to be fighting. So this has been Imperator Die with your Fedora Reshiram, no technical knowledge. I will see all you tacticians next time. Bye bye.